it's Carolyn Ellis from brilliancemastery.com, and thank you for watching this short video. I am going to be doing a series of videos, and this is the first one about sharing some tips and insights from my book. Yeah, my book just came out. It's called Lead Conversations That Count, How Busy Managers Run Great Meetings. I'm really excited about it, and I'm just so delighted by some of the early response I've had. It just launched. So before I dive into today's tip, I want to share with you a little bit of context about this conversation and why is this book important right now. And I'm just going to put up a little image here for you. So here's the thing. I think there's an issue here we need to fix. One is about meetings, okay? We've all been in meetings where they are not well run, they're boring, did it even have to be a meeting? And there's some pretty hard numbers around this. I mean, 71% of people surveyed believe that meetings are pretty unproductive, they're out of control, and they're costly. They're costly, about $400 billion in the United States apparently. They're costly not only in terms of people's time, but it's costly in terms of people's energy and their goodwill to want to show up at the next meeting and to do the good work that you need to get done, right? The other issue that we need to take a look at is about managers. So these are those great, hardworking, talented people who are moving their way up the ranks, but perhaps are more skilled on the technical or subject matter side than they are about understanding and navigating the craziness that can sometimes happen when all sorts of people with different opinions get in a room and talk about something, right? So managers are really crucial, I believe, in organizations. Why? Because there's 70% of the variance in a level of an employee's engagement has to do with the quality of their relationship with their manager. And Gallup's survey also shows us that actually 35% of managers are themselves not engaged in work. So if you have a manager who's not engaged in their work and they have such a big role on impact with the people that they're leading in a meeting, is it any wonder that a lot of organizations are still struggling to keep great people and going through that hamster wheel of, hiring people, onboarding new people, and then how do you keep that good talent? And really, it's getting tougher, right? Because I think this pandemic has really affected people and how they think about the kind of work and the people that they work with. So the hope for me in this book and my intention is I want to try to fix that nexus point that you see over there. So here's the first tip. I'm just going to take that off. First tip I want to share with you in this video is about leader presence. So it's not just about the work and getting the stuff done in the work. What I think is really important for us to think about is about how do you show up with the greatest level of impact and influence that you possibly can. So you really, as a leader, the first person you need to be able to lead is, of course, yourself. And I think a great metaphor for this is you think about going on a mountain climbing expedition and you've got the leader of the expedition, right? They're forging the path. They are the one that the rope is tied to. They got everybody tied up on back of them. And they're forging that path. And that's kind of the role that you play in creating and running your meetings. However, if you're not doing your work to really make yourself ready internally through your own self-awareness and reflection and some simple practices, it's going to be a clunky ride up to the top of that mountain. What if your climbers see that, their leaders is actually carrying 3 backpacks, 2 from the prior meeting that they're still not over? What if they don't have the right equipment? What if the rope that's holding everybody together is too short? So the leader and how you are prepared to really lead, be open, be prepared and nimble to address what's happening in the moment is so crucial. So a few tips for you to help boost your leader presence in the room. One is take a moment to think about what do you need to leave outside the room. So it could be an upsetting conversation you had, it could be a judgment you have about somebody in your team, or a disappointment that you had about a performance issue. Really be intentional about what you need to leave outside of the meeting space. Second thing I think would be really helpful for you in terms of your leader presence is to be intentional about what do you need to bring into the meeting. And this is really where it's important to understand what's the experience that you want people to have. Your greatest job, I believe, as a manager, as a leader of people in that meeting is not just about getting the work done, but about really forging strong, trusting, safe relationships amongst the people on your team. Because without that psychological safety, without that sense that you've got each other's back, everything you do will be much harder, so much more friction, so much more rework. So I go into a lot more detail in how you can prepare yourself for a meeting with my count roadmap that's in the book. But I think that these couple of tips, what are you going to leave outside the room and what do you intentionally need to bring into the room so that you really lead yourself, you can lead your people better. So I hope that's been helpful to you. Stay tuned for my next tip coming up in about a week's time. And if you have any other questions or want to talk further, just reach out to me at brilliancemastery.com. Thanks so much.